This is Stofix, one of the greatest Minecraft seed finders, which means he finds Minecraft worlds, in the world. He has 85,000 subscribers, and he posts a YouTube short every day that has 3 seeds in it. He posts 3 seeds a day, and all of them are incredible. So obviously, I just had to challenge him to a seed finding race.
Hello, and welcome to the greatest seed finding competition you will ever see in your lifetime. First up, we have the one, the only, awesome player 98.
Thank you.
And after graciously agreeing to come and help us with this project, the most famous seed finder to ever live, Stofix.
Hello.
Yeah!
Contestants, please say a word about yourselves.
Well, you guys might notice I have big bags under my eyes, and that's because I stayed up all last night coding this special program that can help me find seeds even crazier and more amazing than ever before. And while there's still a few bugs to kink out, I'm sure that I can figure it out before the competition is even close to over.
And Stofix.
I love seed.
Epic.
Rule number 1.
When I see I have a big number, is that gonna go up?
Yes, that's
Okay, good.
rule number 1. Rule number 2. Rule number 3. There will be no asking Reddit or any other sources for a seed.
What about my mom?
Okay.
Can she find Minecraft seeds?
Yeah, what if I ask her to log on to Minecraft really quick? Like, she wants me to take out the groceries, and I'm like, oh, sure, can you load up a Minecraft world real quick? That's what I was doing. She's like, oh, yeah, sure. She just, like, happens to stumble across the greatest Minecraft seed ever found ever.
I think in that circumstance, then that would be fine.
Let's go.
Time to announce our first seed finding competition. You will be finding
Okay.
an igloo
An igloo, okay.
that has the basement, but it is separate from the main igloo. They're in
What?
2 different pieces.
Wait, that's not a thing, is it?
And if that cannot be found by you within the allotted amount of time of 1 day, then an igloo is completely surrounded by water or ice will suffice as a submission.
Wait, an igloo that's completely surrounded by water or ice? What does that mean?
You can't just walk up to it. You'd have to swim to it or cross ice. Like, the ground around it is water or ice. So, contestants, are you ready? 98? Hello? Well, Stofix, seeing as 98 seems to have passed out after hearing the challenge, do you have any thoughts on how easy this is?
Pretty easy, I think.
So,
Excuse me, businessman?
I don't know.
Hello?
yes.
I found one.
Okay, did you search online?
Nope, I literally ran over to my laptop. I wish I'd been filming myself while I did it. I went over to my laptop and I entered in a set of parameters, and watch, I'm gonna disconnect, I'm gonna load that up, and I'll prove to you that at spawn, there's an igloo that is surrounded completely by ice and or water. I didn't have enough time to check.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that this wasn't a race round.
So does that mean that we both get points if Stofix can find a similar seed within 24 hours?
Yes.
Okay, yep, this is an igloo that is spawned completely inside of iceberg. And so you cannot get to it without, and it has a basement, and so you cannot get to it without swimming.
Well, audience, this has been a turn of events that I did not see coming.
Here, load the seed yourself. I sent it in
Immediately
chat. What were you guys doing while I was really quick typing in these specific requirements?
To be honest, we were wondering where you went.
Nearest igloo's at kind of 0-0.
Really?
Just flat as 0-0. Locate command sometimes doesn't work.
I am, in fact, inside of an igloo. And that igloo is inside of an iceberg. That is something you don't see every day, that's for sure. Very good. Now Stofix just needs to find a similar seed, and we will begin scoring.
Can I share you the screen?
Oh! What?
Here's mine.
What?
Oh!
That's like way cooler than mine. How did you? Oh, I know what you did. You sly. Okay, I see.
But Wizard basement.
Stofix also found one in a minute without making a seed that was even more incredible than mine. Like, I could see this being in one of his videos, and he found it in a minute as well.
Well,
That's not
I
the river.
clearly underestimated how fast you guys could find seeds.
Okay, do you have the second one for us?
We need to go back onto the server, and I'm going to score you guys. The way that the scores are going to work is based on how well the seed matches with the prompt. I am going to have to give you two an equal number of points because both matched the prompt.
Although we can all agree that Stofix's seed was cooler.
We have a choice here. You can either give a point to the person you thought their seed was better. Like, if you thought that the other person's seed was better than yours, you can give a point, or you can choose to hold.
Fine, I'll give him my point just because I have a feeling that you're gonna give us like extra points at the end for being nice or something. You are gonna give us extra points at the end for being nice, right?
We'll see.
Okay.
This first challenge has already happened. I'd like your honest opinion on how you think things are going to be going throughout the rest of the show.
Okay, I feel like you're gonna give us another seed and it's gonna be way too easy and we'll do like another round, but then you'll give us a seed that's way too hard and we'll be like, dude, what the frick? And then it'll take us like longer than a day and we won't really know what to do.
Okay. Stofix, what about you?
I feel like it will be okay.
Alright. What methods do you two use to find your seeds?
Well, I actually have it right here. You can't, it's partially transparent because of the green screen, sorry. But I have this program that many use called Cubiomes Viewer. And you kind of just type in what you want and it will look through seeds. So like it'll go through every kind of possible seed. I like to start mine at like 98 billion. So then my seeds start with the number 98 and it'll just go through every seed until it finds one that matches your requirements. So for things like that, it's quite effective, but for specific technical things, it is lacking.
Stofix, how about you?
I mainly use Cubium Viewer also.
So, after a successful group interview, we will be moving on to the second challenge inside of this game.
Is this meant these gosh dang doors? I keep trying to open them and then they automatically open, so I close them.
Yes, I noticed. Our next challenge is called Fantastic Features. I am going to give you a seed. It will be just a random number I come up with off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
You two are going to have to search this seed in particular using whatever methods you would like. But you need to find something interesting about this seed that sets it apart. You only have 30 minutes. Okay, contestants, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your seed is negative. Go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I started out trying to look for some cool ore formation, seeing if they made any cool shapes or if there was like a particularly large like ore vein somewhere, because I knew that that's definitely not what Stofix was trying to do. But then I realized that maybe wasn't the best idea. So instead I went on chunk base and started looking for structures that spawned near each other.
Oh, okay. I found something actually amazing.
And boy, am I glad I did that. I found all sorts of really incredible formations, but I especially found one that wasn't even structure related. I just randomly came across it, and it was this.
Oh, yo, this is freaking sick. Oh, what? How the heck did I find this without a program? Hold up, I think I just found something good enough to post to the subreddit.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, and you know that that's kind of rare. Oh my goodness, I think this is probably one of the greatest things I think I've found on a seed. There's like 40 different things that are amazing about this seed.
With 2 minutes left on the clock, I raced to find 1/3 like final cool thing.
Stofix, how confident are you in your discovery?
Yeah, maybe I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I think I found one last thing. I have my 3 things.
Well then, hop onto the server. Let's get this going. And now we greet our contestants after they have gone and they have searched a seed for the fanciest, most amazing feature that they could find. Seeing as Awesome Player 98 has less points, we are going to have him reveal first.
Okay,
98.
a Cherry Grove Village. And there's a room portal right there. And kind of cool terrain. People all the time wish that villages were here, and this village is more than half encased in this biome.
That is impressive.
Have you ever seen a shipwreck inside of an ocean monument before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and now, both of those were honestly quite tame in comparison to this one. Let me actually turn my render distance up a bunch and look directly up, because this is the find of the century. Like, I'm actually super grateful that I was able to find this specific seed. Okay, we're gonna let the terrain generate and everything.
Okay.
Enter a quick prediction what you think this will be, businessman.
I believe you have found some sort of terrain that defies how terrain is supposed to generate.
You could say that. A one single block super high above these incredible caves.
Okay.
Okay.
So yep, that's what I found.
So you
Interesting.
found a block.
I found a block.
Stofix, could we see what you found?
It's a village,
Okay, a village.
a medium lake,
Ooh,
Pretty deep.
okay. Oh wow, wait, how deep does it
Okay.
go?
and some cool ice. This one is just a lake, but more deeper.
That is incredibly deep. Wow.
Okay, that looks really cool, the shaders.
Now, this decision
Okay.
was an interesting one to make. Stofix, you found two incredible lakes, both very deep, and one surrounded by a village, which was impressive. And 98, you found
A block.
a cherry blossom village, a block floating that high above everything else, and most of all, a shipwreck in an ocean monument.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a point. This is because I've not seen any Minecraft lakes, really. They reach down that deep without being at an ocean. And 98. For your 3 seeds, each impressing me, I'm actually going to give you 4 points.
Oh wow, okay.
Would you like to hear your next challenge?
Yes. What's the next challenge, please?
Yes.
I'm on the edge of my seat, as you can see.
We are going to be searching for something that was actually tailored to the guy who apparently illegally owned Minecraft. Anyways,
Yeah, this video was originally going to be with 3 people, but apparently the third guy didn't own a legal copy of Minecraft. So, yeah, we didn't end up filming with it.
I'm going to ask you to find the largest floating island that you possibly can.
No, not this one.
You have 24 hours to find me the largest possible floating island.
I'm not even
Yes.
sure how I could write a script or a program for this one. Like, how does this even make sense? Like, there's no way that I could search for this without either using manually or just coding my own.
Yeah.
Like, this
I
one's
see.
crazy because you can't use Q biomes for this.
Yes.
This round was brutal. What I immediately did was I started coding a fabric mod that could tell how many blocks were in a floating island that you were standing on.
So everybody, it's a few hours later. Yes, it really did take me this long to code this, but basically I coded a mod that you stand on a block and it tells you how many blocks there are, because Businessman suggested that I use World Edit, yeah, that's right, to find the biggest floating island I can. There's like a replace block function and it'll tell you how many blocks I replaced, but that was going to be kind of dumb, so I decided not to. Now I just look for some really big islands.
And then went around going from windswept savanna to windswept savanna using chunk base, looking for the biggest floating islands I could. While the mod definitely made it a lot easier than counting by hand, it still did kind of suck. You had to stand at like a very specific angle to the island for it to constitute it as one. So occasionally I had to try it a few different times, but it always worked in the end. Anyway, I found one that was 16,000 blocks. Yeah, that's right. 1,000. And I searched for about 3 hours. Along the way, I found some other strange things, like a bunch of gravel being held up by a few measly tall grass blocks, and this AMOGUS right next to a perfect circle, which is now my most upvoted post on Reddit. But Stofix found a floating island with 27,000 blocks in it, and he didn't even know exactly how big it was until we pressed him for the exact number.
We have a clear winner on our hands.
So he won that round.
We are about to enter the question and answer round. I'm going to be asking 5 questions. Each is worth 1 point. It is a first to answer basis. So what you're going to do is you're going to push the button when you think you have an answer. So our first question, is it possible on modern Minecraft versions
Java Edition
for
or
a seed
Bedrock?
to contain Java.
Okay, Jarva.
For a seed to contain a snowy biome adjacent to a savanna with no separating features like a river. Stofix.
No.
Dang it!
You
I
are
was gonna
correct.
say no. I thought that maybe you like had some insight that it was like secretly yes or something.
So Stofix, that is another point to you. On a bedrock seed, how deep would you guess the lowest buried treasure has been found? Nope. We seem to have a perfect tie.
Okay, I will go first.
Oh.
I believe that the lowest that has ever been discovered is -36 Y position.
Interesting. And Stofix?
1 level above bedrock.
Ooh, so like a negative,
Wow.
like 62?
I would like to tell you that Stofix is in fact closer.
What?
The lowest discovered was at about -56 on an old version of Bedrock Edition. How large in distance between the two ends is the second Minecraft end gap?
Ooh, I have it.
98.
It ranges from x/z 37, or I think it's like 377,000 all the way to like a few million blocks out past that point.
I'm going to give that to you, but I will say it wasn't a few million. That was a false thing. It's roughly 150,000.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen it myself.
Our next question, which is our second to last. What is the farthest that you can travel in Minecraft with only one elytra rocket and a water bucket?
What?
Stofix. Also, you didn't reset your thing. Stofix.
To the world
To
border.
the world border. Okay.
Yeah.
98, do you have anything to counter with? Yes.
What? What is that supposed to mean? 10,000 blocks.
Well, I would like to tell you that you are both incorrect. In theory, because of very specific mouse angles, it has been discovered that with an elytra that would never break, you could travel infinitely, never landing, with only
Well,
one
I
crop.
feel
The
like
world
that goes to
border.
the world border, yeah. Wait, and also, what does the water bucket have anything to do with it?
Now that was just to throw you off.
What?
This final question is incredibly seed related. Which biome can have the most structures spawn in it? Oh, 98.
Yes, that would be the plains biome.
Will you list the structures for me?
Yes, number 1, village.
Good luck.
Number 2, villager outpost. Ruined portal. Okay, even though they're technically not structures within the game's code. You got trial chambers.
I would like to tell you that you are, in fact, incorrect. If we're counting a monster room, or more commonly known as a dungeon, as a structure, then I would assume
Oh,
you would
mine
be
shaft.
counting the desert well the same. If we're counting monster rooms and desert wells, then that gives the desert one structure more than the plains.
I put a whole bunch of minecarts back where he was, if you don't mind.
Oh,
Oh!
the last.
Anyway, give us the next seed, please.
You are going to race to find a naturally lit nether portal.
No! No, these are super rare. I think there's only one that's ever been discovered, and that was by Dylan DC himself.
I give up.
It might seem like Stofix is joking here, but his reaction is completely warranted. There have only been 3 discovered ever, and they were all by Dylan DC14, the greatest seed finder of all time. And I know I kind of throw that term around casually, but like I'm serious with Dylan, and he's only ever found 3.
Also, is there any way we could get partial points? Like if we find a fully generated portal, but it doesn't light itself, then like could we get half points?
Yes.
Yes, you will get half the points you would get if you find a full portal. It just can't be lit.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
When I say it's easy here, I am completely bluffing. This is one of the trickiest tasks ever.
Businessman, if I could find an automatically generating nether portal, they wouldn't call me the half-fed broski. They would call me Mr. Top of the subreddit. Okay, see ya, I'm gonna go find that. And this is gonna be worth a crap ton of points, right, Businessman? Because this is kind of impossible.
But whoever finds this will receive a whole lot of points.
Now, we were challenged to find this on New Year's Eve, and we didn't really want to film on New Year's Day, you know, as a holiday. So that meant that we had 48 hours for this seed, and it actually ended up being 72 hours because Business Mint was busy on January 2nd. So we had a lot more time than we had on the previous rounds, but this was orders of magnitude harder than anything we've ever been challenged combined.
Okay, Business Mint has tasked us with a task that is near but impossible. And so I'm gonna start out this first search, I suppose, with some manual searching. So I have here a list of seeds that have mansions, because that's how this usually works. It's usually a mansion that spawns in a ruined portal. In the mansions, then there's some rooms that have obsidian in them. We'll be looking for these like ruined portals that spawn that have obsidian, the kinds that are almost complete. Oh, okay, dang. So yeah, we're gonna have some like that.
My plan was pretty smart in hindsight. Start by just loading up seeds and see what could be improved. You know, start with a manual search and then ask how could this be easier or quicker. I noticed that most of the time the ruined portals spawned underground, and obviously the mansions most of the time didn't have the rare obsidian rooms. If I could filter my seeds down to only include above ground portals and mansions with obsidian rooms in it, it would be a lot more efficient. So I began coding. And I actually have been coding a bit behind the scenes in preparation of something like this. You see, I kind of knew that Business Mint was going to give us something that wouldn't be very easy to find on Qbiome. And I was actually kind of hoping that he would, because that's what Stofix's specialty was. He was a Qbiome's master. But I knew how to code. Or at least I knew how to ask ChatGPT to teach me how to code. And that really came in handy here, because I programmed a program that would tell me whether or not the seed had an above ground ruined portal and a mansion with an obsidian room in it. That way we didn't have to search manually. This is about 2 times faster than checking each seed myself, but it could still take hours or even days. Do I have to search for them myself? Let's rewind to see exactly what Business Mint said earlier.
There will be no asking Reddit or any other sources for a seed to submit.
What about my mom?
I think in that circumstance, then that would be fine. Fine.
And so I had my mom search for some seeds, and this is what happened. No, I'm just kidding. She actually forgot to enter in the seeds field, so we didn't find anything.
Sorry that I'm two-dimensional now and that my mic is low quality, but I have to note here, actually, she did type it in right and did find a seed, and I did actually check through it, so she did technically really help.
But it was still epic that she was willing to. After an entire day of nothing but coding, I managed to get the mod to, number 1, automatically do everything, so then it would reload the worlds, delete old worlds, and export them to a TXT file. But unfortunately, the mod would not run for longer than about an hour without crashing. So I did have to check in on it and restart it ever so often. At this point, it was doing about 1 seed every 30 seconds. And with my laptop added, then that was about 50 seconds per seed. On the laptop, right? I mean, if I combine them, that's like 3 seeds every second. And all of the next day, I tried really hard to cut out some of this extra time, trying to make it stop loading a world after it generated the structures, because it generates those at about 1%. But I couldn't figure out how to do it. For some reason, Minecraft really doesn't like you trying to interrupt it while it's doing its main game phase. When Stofix said that he gave up from earlier, he was being serious. And rightfully so, this is impossible to find with Qbiome. So I actually gave him my code, gave him my program I was using, and we entered into an agreement to kind of help each other, to work together. And if either of us found one, we'd split the points, 75-25. So while I was watching Sonic 3 in the movie theater, I exported him my code and he got to work. Despite all that hard work, it wasn't enough to beat the incredibly odd odds. Seems like these were 1 in a billion, and we weren't gonna find it using ChatGPT code that I'd made in a couple of days. We were done. Business Mint wasn't ready though, but it had already been 3 days, so we replaced him.
Hello.
Meet Lorik. Lorik is an amazing friend and Geometry Dash player, but he didn't know a thing about seed finding.
So, what is your seed for us?
Alright, I'm gonna need you guys to find a desert temple either inside or next to a woodland mansion.
So, Lorik, the thing is, dark forests don't really spawn next to deserts, right, Stofix?
Yeah.
Would another easier one, instead of being structures, be like biome related? Villager outposts like inside of a desert temple. You could try and find like the largest body of water, because I don't know how the Minecraft oceans work, but I'm assuming like they usually connect to other land, right? It's not like...
Yeah, well, the thing about largest body of water is that oceans are usually like millions of blocks, right? So we'd have no way of quantifying that.
After helping him come up with a good prompt though, he gave us this.
So whoever could find the largest mushroom island. I'll give you guys like 30 minutes.
Go, I guess.
30 minutes to find the largest mushroom island biome we could. I immediately asked him what counted as large, like how he was going to quantify it, and he said that he'd multiply how wide it was by how tall it was. And that gave me an idea. Instead of using cubiomes to search for a circular big island, I'd search for a long diagonal island. This would make a technically smaller island count as bigger, you know how math works, which is a little bit cheaty, but it was clearly allowed. Unfortunately, cubiomes does not have a diagonal rectangle option, so I just had to put a bunch of squares. But that gave me lots of groups of islands instead of one big one, and obviously it has to all be connected. The timer ran out, and the biggest island I'd found...
Wait, oh, look, it's like one chunk. That's actually kind of cool. Anyway, Lorik, does this count? Does this like island count? Because you'll see by the color of the ocean, it is technically still part of the mushroom biome, but as far as land goes, it's not connected. So do we count that or do we not?
No.
Stofix submitted his seed as well, and he used a more sophisticated way of quantifying it. Apparently the program we've both been using, cubiomes, could also tell you how big biomes were. It's kind of in the name, I guess. His was a grand total of 1,126,344 blocks. And mine was actually 1,124,999 blocks. Stofix had beaten me by 1,345 blocks on a 1,000,000 block island.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
This was about as tight as you could get, but he had technically won.
Yeah, no, wait, so he got 3, right? So that means he has 13 now.
And you should have 8.
This is the best way to keep score ever.
Oh, are you not able to just change the number? You're just like...
I don't know. Businessmen did it. Stofix, do you know how to?
I don't know.
There's probably a command block somewhere. This round's going to be a little bit more subjective. It's not necessarily going to be hard. It's going to be kind of more based on my opinion. But the round is whoever can find the coolest sunken ship or haunted or shipwreck, I mean.
Whoever can find the niftiest shipwreck.
Yep. It doesn't necessarily have to be the shipwreck itself. It could be like the biome around it.
Watch as
You
it's
kind of
like
go for that kind of vibe.
watch as like it's a shipwreck inside of like a desert temple at Y255.
Yeah, you could really go either way. You could try and find the coolest looking one, or you could find like the rarest one.
Oh, I
It just
like
has to be a
that.
shipwreck.
Hey, Lorik, I think you did a good one. Interview us, please. This is something that businessmen would have done.
How are you feeling? Think you're gonna win this?
I feel like I am because let's just say I have a few programs up my sleeve. But unfortunately, I actually gave the code to some of those programs to Stofix, so technically he still has the code, but Stofix, you don't know how to code in Java, right?
No.
That makes me a little bit more assured, but Stofix is really good at coming up with really cool terrain, so I'm worried.
All right, Stofix, how you feeling? Are you feeling confident about this one?
Yes, because I have good ideas, so we'll see.
All right, may the games begin then. Yeah, maybe you could call us in an hour. It'll be like a really quick thing. You'll be like, it's been 1 hour in. Have either of you found anything? And maybe you could call us all each separately.
We had 24 hours, but we only had 1 hour to show Lorik our first seed. Not for points or anything, but just to show him kind of where our mind was at.
So I'm going to start. Okay, guys, here's what I'm thinking, okay? I want to find the lowest shipwreck, okay? Recently, a guy on the Minecraft seed finding subreddit found a shipwreck in a cave that was really cool, okay? And so I want to do that. It took like half a second. I have 600 seeds here that have shipwrecks at spawn, like at 00 on the dot. And so I'm gonna email those to myself, and then I'm going to modify my program that I had for the mansions and stuff. I'm going to change it so then it instead looks for how high the shipwreck is.
But something was off. The shipwrecks weren't where they were supposed to be. Then I realized I left it on the large biomes world type from earlier. Yeah, those mushroom islands were on the large world type. He said we could do this. Stofix did it as well. But I forgot to turn it off, and so all my seeds were screwed up. So I raced to fix it, but it was already time. I only had 5 seeds, and none of them were really remarkable. All the shipwrecks were at pretty regular Y values, so I had nothing to show Lorik. But I did have some ideas to show him.
Alright, it's been 1 hour, so.
Yes, it's
How's
been
it
1
going?
hour. So, basically, it's going pretty good. Yeah, and so I could either find a really, really low shipwreck, because there's half-bid shipwrecks before that could spawn in, like, caves and stuff, or I could find a really, really high shipwreck, which are also really rare.
Alright, so your strategy's gonna be finding something kind of abnormal.
Yeah, in the height.
How confident are you right now? Like, you think you'll get this or no?
Stofix cannot. I'm just gonna say it. He cannot find what I am going to find
Hold up.
in the course of the next 23 hours.
I live stream every Friday. You should come watch it next time I do. And while I usually do PvP or like a hardcore challenge, or sometimes I do actually look for cool seeds, this time I was on a mission. After doing some quick PvP, of course, I checked out the list I generated, and boy did it have some cool ones. We had one at Y77, which was just a shipwreck and an iceberg. One at 38, which was just one in a really deep ocean cave. But it did give me an idea. Find a shipwreck in an ancient city. Like I had said before, Fragrant Result 186 had recently found a shipwreck in a cave almost at bedrock level, so it was technically possible. But could I find one in 17 hours? We found shipwrecks in walls, floating shipwrecks, and a few really deep ones in caves, but no ancient city ones yet. I decided to leave my program running overnight. I woke up 2 hours before the round ended, which meant that I had work to do. The program's outputs were very messy, so I had to code a quick script in Scratch to organize them. The lowest? 17. I was crushed. 17 is not a negative number, which means that it is definitely not in an ancient city. I quickly scrambled for an alternative. 2 hours was not enough time to search for more. I can't get that lucky in just 2 hours. Maybe an island with a bunch of shipwrecks on it? Maybe a shipwreck inside of a pillager outpost? Time was running out and I didn't have anything amazing. But then I remembered. Stofix can't code. With my program ending up useless, we are effectively even. I logged onto the server with 3 seeds in mind, and here's how it went.
Alright, Stofix, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Let me show you my top 3 coolest, okay? I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so imagine you're caving, okay? Like, you've been in these caves, and it's going all great, and you look up, and you see a sideways floating shipwreck, and you're like, okay, how did they crash it there? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. And you got this massive cliff and everything, tons of emerald ore. So now look at this one. You have here an iron golem trapped in this ship.
Oh, shoot.
So you're in these caves and you see that there's a ship facing out of the cave. So it's not like they crashed into the cave, they're crashing out of the cave. And it's this.
Let's see a Stofix.
It's an island with this shipwreck. It's the same way for just a way, pardon.
Oh my.
You have the shipwreck here.
Oh, what the heck?
What?
Pretty cool.
And for my life, I need to go on this version. Okay, here's mine.
You use the...
Already
that's why you have to load it on the old version. I should have thought of that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, what the heck?
I think it's the lowest possible.
The big boy winner is Stofix. In my humble opinion. My subjective opinion.
You know, that is fair after that crazy sinkhole seed.
I was not expecting that. How did he find that? The worst part of all of this, though, is that I'd actually thought of this already, but I dismissed the idea because in previous rounds, Businessman had told us that it had to be on modern version. It had to work if you loaded up the newest version of Minecraft, but Businessman wasn't here. And Lorik didn't have that rule. And honestly, while I maybe could have tried to snag a few points from Stofix by getting him on some sort of technicality, honestly, the whole point of this is to find the coolest seeds possible. And with that rule in place, he wouldn't have been able to find this amazing gem. So, he won. And honestly, while I had my hopes up, even just getting the chance to film the video with such an incredible Seedfinder was worth it. Make sure to go subscribe to him, help him get to 100,000 subscribers, he really does deserve it. As epic as this video was with one pro Seedfinder, what if we had all of them?
introducing my next video. And if you want to be a part of it, here's the Discord server link. And the video will be filming from March 31st to April 5th. We're going to be trying to get as many pro seed finders and amateur seed finders as possible. So if you're interested, check out the Discord. I also drew this hot ocean monument because I thought it might get attention, but it kind of got attention on the wrong subreddit. So you might see that showing up in a Phoenix SC video later.
I hope you liked that video. Please comment if you did or not. If you comment that you didn't, it will attract lots of bots. Just kidding, boy.